Hostile pilot on board. Warning, enemy pilot attacking. Enemy pilot eliminated.
In the real world, every decision you make has a consequence. If you're trying to accomplish an objective, you've got to choose between method A, B, or C, offense, defense, or something in between. If you like making those kinds of decisions often, there's a Titan I want you to meet. Her name is Ion. Titanfall 2 currently features 6 Titan chassis, each with a set of unique abilities and kits that can slightly augment the way that Titan plays. Today, we're going to talk about some of the strengths and weaknesses of Ion. Before we talk about Ion's loadout, we have to talk about her energy system. Unlike the other Titans, her abilities, ordnance, defensive, and tactical, are tied to a cooldown and/or a recharging energy system. Each ability she uses pulls from the same energy resource, which means how you perform in battle is heavily dependent on how you manage your energy. Her primary weapon is the splitter rifle. It's a rapid-fire energy weapon with 2 firing modes. The normal firing mode fires a single projectile that deals low damage and does not consume energy. The alternate mode fires 3 projectiles instead of 1 for an increased damage output and a cost to your energy. This gun has a magazine capacity of 40, but your alternate fire does not consume additional ammunition. Whew, that's a mouthful. Her ordnance is laser shot. It fires a pinpoint accurate laser across the universe. It has an unlimited range and it deals heavy damage at the cost of 50% of your energy. It can be fired twice from a full charge and again as soon as you have enough energy. Ion's tactical ability is Tripwire Mine. She launches 3 explosive mines that after a short time become connected by laser wires. Enemies that break the laser wires will detonate the explosives and sustain heavy damage. This ability consumes roughly 30 to 40% of your total energy. Next is Vortex Shield. You mitigate 100% of the damage you would take from the front, and any non-energy attacks are caught in the shield and can be redirected at the attacker. The projectiles you catch travel at roughly the same speed they were fired. So if you catch a slow-moving projectile, when you send it back, it'll move slowly. Finally, Ion's core ability is Laser Core. After a brief charging period, Ion fires a giant laser beam out of her chest and devastates anything in its path. While capable of destroying just about anything in its path, you'll probably want to use it on something other than grunts and specters. But it is kind of fun to kill grunts and specters with a big-ass laser. For the kit options, first is Entangled Energy. Critical hits with your splitter rifle restore energy. Next is 0-point Tripwire. This reduces the cost of Tripwire Mine to 0 energy, which turns it into a cooldown only ability. Third is Vortex Amplifier. This increases the Vortex Shield's return damage by 20%. In other words, the projectiles you collect deal increased damage. Finally is Grand Cannon. This increases the duration of your laser core. Now that we've gone over all the abilities, let's see how we can put them to use. Ion's energy system is simultaneously a restriction and a benefit. This system allows you to dictate how you want to fight. Unlike the other Titans that have a set playstyle, offensive, defensive, hit and run, etc., Ion can choose to adopt any of those styles. Sometimes unforeseen circumstances will make going full offense a gamble, but with the right planning, you can do some serious damage. While you might not always walk away uninjured, your opponent won't be a happy camper either. In this situation, because my energy reserves are at maximum, I'm taking a very aggressive stance against an enemy legion. I'm using my Vortex Shield to absorb the brunt of his attacks, and then I activate my laser core to finish him off. At this point, I should probably make some sort of tactical retreat, but retreat isn't in my vocabulary. I'm gonna charge forward and I'm gonna get severely punished for it, but I do have the nuclear ejection kit installed on my Titan, so I did get a nice amount of burst damage on the surrounding enemies because of my aggression. While playing as Ion, it's very possible to completely mitigate most of the attacks your enemies make if you understand their attack patterns. After Tone lands 3 attacks with her 40mm cannon, you can almost guarantee that she'll follow up with a rocket salvo, her main source of damage. Give it a listen.
Warning, always detect excessive damage. Laser cores ready. Warning, nearly active damage.
As you can see, in the heat of battle, you don't always catch every single rocket, but the more you understand the attack patterns of your enemies, the easier this will become. The most important thing to remember about Ion is that she excels at reacting to her opponents and shutting down their best and most powerful attacks. Right now I'm in a bit of a stalemate with Legion, but because of the way Vortex Shield works, I'm going to come out of this trade the victor. Tactics that would normally be impossible to deal with for another Titan become my biggest advantage.
Enemy Titan eliminated.
As versatile and powerful as Ion is, her biggest weakness is how truly difficult it can be to manage and make use of all of her options. Only having 3 abilities to choose from and an easy to use primary weapon might not seem like a big deal, but figuring out exactly when to use those abilities is tricky, especially when you're getting blasted in the face by the enemy. Additionally, Ion doesn't excel at any one style of combat. Ronin is the master of close range, Northstar the master of long range. Scorch's defenses and area control are incredible. Legion's damage output and domineering presence are unmatched. Tone is ridiculous. Ion, on the other hand, she's not too fast, she's not too slow, she's not too strong, and she's not too weak. She doesn't excel at range, but she doesn't excel at close combat either. She's just right there in the middle. And there you go. This has been an overview for Ion. She's not the baddest bitch on the battlefield, but you know what? She's pretty damn powerful, and if you know how to use her right, she will treat you well. Simple as that. So, as you probably already know, the name of the game is Titanfall 2. The name of the channel is iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.